why is it that Warren Buffett and the other big money guys are dumping their stocks when you're buying? Well, that's what we're going to hit, and there's a lot more, so stay with us for What the F Happened. What's up with robots, man? I've been seeing a lot about these robots.
So one of the things that's driving inflation is people not working, right? If they can't supply the goods and people want those goods, that drives, and the demand is there, that drives inflation. So what's happening is there's a real shortage of workers out there. I mean, I think all of you have probably experienced that if you've gone out to dinner or if you try to buy things lately, there's just not the people to get the work done. So one of the solutions that companies are looking for is, okay, well, if people don't want to work, we'll just use technology to replace those people. And robot technology is getting very, very sophisticated. Like it's pretty amazing what robots are able to do these days. So more and more companies are looking at that for a solution. So what I'm scared is going to happen, Chris, is that when people finally wake up and realize, hey, I can't live off of unemployment and all this other stuff for my entire life. I got to go back to work, right? That job's not going to be there. And then what? And that's what we're headed towards.
Yeah, when the crypto and the shit coins, the Shibu, Ibu, which hasn't been doing quite so well. So now we're talking about Cardano. I mean,
just look at that picture.
I can't even. I mean, look at that. I mean, listen. How many of you saw the movie Terminator? Right? You guys see that? How many of you saw any movies about robots? Like they are going to replace us. Is that Amazon right there?
So well, that's what they're simulating, is saying that would be Amazon warehouses. I mean, it's just a crazy looking picture, but it's not unbelievable. I mean, I can see it happening sooner than later. I mean, it says American employees are hoping that the tight pandemic labor market will translate into higher pay. It would possibly simply imply robots take their jobs as a substitute. I mean, and it shows all these different companies.
The greed in this country is going to literally lead to companies having to go this route. McDonald's is already doing it. The fry cook, gone, machine now. Okay. All the positions behind in McDonald's. And you might be like, I don't want to work at McDonald's. But you know what? How many of you literally, when you were a teenager, worked in a restaurant? I did. How about you, Steven? Did you work in a restaurant when you were a teenager?
Absolutely, man.
All of us did, right? That's where we start. Well, what happens when none of our kids that want to enter the workforce, have a little extra spending money to go buy whatever they want to buy? There is no jobs for them anymore because they've been replaced by robots because of the greed we are creating today. People are sitting on the sidelines saying, I want more money. I want more money. I want more money. And it's not even that they're driven by money. They're just driven because they're being stimulated by all this stuff that's not real. And because of that, companies, it's not the company's fault. Companies are making decisions basically to say, hey, listen, if we can't get people to work, I can't even get people to show up for an interview. So I would hire a robot. But like, we need to continue with our company. Our company has to continue to grow. And if we can't find people to come into our business to be part of our culture, then we have to replace people. And technology is at a point now where literally it can replace people. You are replaceable by a robot or a machine. Don't make yourself out to be any better than that. You can be replaced, and you are being replaced. So when you come out of this bubble, when you come out of this false sense of reality, the job you used to have may or may not still be there for you. And when you look through the windows of your job where you used to sit, there might be a machine doing what you used to do. And that job is never coming back. Folks, the other problem that you have right now, they keep talking about, well, so many people are on the sidelines, on unemployment or not working or not back to the labor pool. Yes, the job market or the unemployment numbers are getting better. But here's the thing you're not realizing. Baby boomers got the hint and they said, you know what? I'm just going to retire early. They're gone. They're never coming back to the workforce. That's the shortages. And the new workforce, the new people that are coming in that want jobs, they don't have the skills or they don't have the knowledge to fulfill some of these roles. So some of these jobs, there's just not a connection of skills for the job because the baby boomers were there for so long and they just said, I'm out. Okay, I'm out. I'm done. I'm retiring early. That's a reality. But the future, literally, you need to start paying attention to this. You need to figure this out, because the way we used to operate, where there's so many jobs right now, everybody's like, oh my God, there's so many jobs, they can work anywhere. Next year, there might not be. The year after, none of those jobs they might not exist, because this can happen quick. Robots can happen very quick. Companies just say, hey, listen, we used to spend, $10 million on payroll. We're just going to take $5 million and buy robots. And guess what? The robots have a shelf life of 10 years. So now no employees needed. Like, this is real, folks. Wake up. But that's not really going to affect many of you. But the next thing is included in the bill, the infrastructure bill that just got passed at $1.2 trillion. Whether you believe in it or not, I can tell you this right now, $1.2 trillion. You know where that money's going to go? Lawyers, consulting companies, because there is not many shovel-ready roads and jobs and bridges ready. They have to go through the whole process, just like they always have, of getting these things approved. So if they want to build a new bridge to help a town build businesses, they have to go through the whole planning thing, which takes attorneys, which takes all sorts of consultants and engineers. They're going to chew up most of that money. It's not going to go to jobs. Sure, it might eventually, but that might be 5 years. Heck, it might go further. Those jobs may never happen, because they might do their suitability for that project and be like, oh, it wasn't suitable. And then all of a sudden, all that money gone, the attorneys, the engineers, and all those people got it. That's very real. But included in the bill is something that all of you need to really wake up and kind of take note of. Crypto taxes. What is that going to mean? Now you got to pay taxes on cryptos. And how much are they going to tax it? Stephen, does the bill really dive into explaining exactly what it's going to do from a tax standpoint to crypto? Does anyone know? I'm just looking here. We've got.
So the IRS in 2018 came out with a study from 2017 that said there is a cryptocurrency tax gap around $11.5 billion. And the market cap in crypto space has just skyrocketed since 2017. So I can't even imagine what that tax gap would be now. But basically, they're saying one of the key revenue raisers in the bill is an effort to curb tax evasion in cryptocurrency by imposing a series of new tax reporting provisions on the industry that apply to digital assets like cryptocurrency and non-fungible tokens like NFTs. It says one of the new provisions in the bill would require brokers to report those transactions for digital assets such as Bitcoin, et cetera, to the IRS in the shape of a 1099 form. Another aspect of the bill would require businesses and exchanges to report when they receive more than $10,000 in cryptocurrency. So all the typical stuff, basically treating it like a stock.
Now, listen, let's just talk about this infrastructure bill, and then I'm going to just turn it over. We got lots of great questions on TikTok, Instagram, and I want to hit some of them because they're really freaking good. And does everybody know that Bitcoin's at like 68 or 69,000? Because I didn't. It's FOMOing, baby. It's FOMOing.
Well, Chris, real fast before you get there, let me just say one more thing on Bitcoin. So it's all over the news right now, and I want to hear what people say about it, because I know crypto's a big one, and there's so much money going to crypto right now. So just three things real fast. So first off, we have people like the new mayor-elect of New York City. So one of the most premier cities in the world, New York City. The new mayor is saying that he's going to take his first 3 paychecks in Bitcoin. So he's willing to accept payment in Bitcoin. He also came out yesterday and said that he is going to encourage Bitcoin and cryptocurrency be taught in high school, which I'm a big proponent of any investing in financial tools, but he's specifically saying Bitcoin. So they're pushing for this. Robinhood came out yesterday and said that they have a wait list of 1.6 million people to get a crypto wallet when they release it in 2022. So 1.6 million users of Robinhood. And we all know the investors that are in Robinhood. No offense, but most Robinhood traders are kind of new to investing in the markets. But 1.6 million of them are waiting right now to get a crypto wallet that'll let them seamlessly transfer money from their stock accounts to their crypto accounts and back and forth. So it's making it easier and easier for people to trade crypto. But here's my question. With all of that being said, with crypto at all-time highs, let's say that Harry Dent, let's say that Warren Buffett and all these leading economists and traders are right. Let's say that the stock market comes down 40, 50% next year. Let's just say that. Let's just all agree on that for a minute. What happens with crypto? Do people say, okay, well, we see crypto as an alternative. So we're going to simply start selling and taking our money from this stock market that's crashing and just put it into Bitcoin, causing Bitcoin to go up? Or do we see people saying, well, I've already lost a bunch of money in the stock market. Why would I now put my money into a very volatile investment in crypto and Bitcoin? Which way does that go? And what happens with that? And that's what I'd love to hear people's thoughts. If the stock market comes down, are you going to go to Bitcoin, or are you going to just say, this is all too volatile and risky for me, and sit back?
Yeah, I mean, I'll put my 2 cents in there. I think people are going to do that. I think when the stock market initially takes its hit, crypto is going to also take a hit too, because it is correlated. But I think a lot of people are going to peel money out of the markets at a loss, okay, or maybe a small gain, not the gain they have today. And they're going to move it over to crypto thinking, oh, this is going to hedge the markets. But I think that is going to be a massive mistake. I think it's going to happen whether we want it to or not, or no matter how much knowledge. I think people are just inherently, knowing that the markets are fragile, the stock market, and then looking at crypto. I mean, I'm just reading people, I'm just reading people's things here. I mean, people are still buying into crypto heavily. I mean, everybody's, and it's always like, a bunch of people saying, oh, buy this. Oh, this is going to the moon. Listen, that's what's going to happen. People are going to flow. You're seeing it already into crypto space, whether it's shit coins or Bitcoin or Ethereum or one of the others. Like, that's already happening. But that is going to, I'll tell you, myself, Warren Buffett, Munger, all those guys will tell you exactly what's going to happen. Research the .com crash. That is going to happen. All of that money that goes into the crypto space will probably vanish or largely largely deflate. And it's going to happen very quickly. And then what's going to happen? Now, I'm not saying that that's the end of crypto. Crypto isn't going anywhere. It's going to be around probably forever. If you ignore crypto and you ignore digital and you ignore blockchain and all that stuff, you're missing a big opportunity. But the opportunity, which is there today, but I think it's a little high in terms of a short-term thinking, right? In terms of investing the way I do. I won't buy Bitcoin at 68. I already made my money in Bitcoin because I bought it at 41. I sold it at 63. And some people are probably like, well, you should have held it at 68. Yeah, but it hit my limit and I made my money. It will deflate again. And I do see Bitcoin going back down in the $20,000 range before it's all over. Will I buy then? 100%. But what will happen is when it all deflates, big money will flow into that and buy it up, which will then bring the price up. And then you will have a stable marketplace in there. NFTs are very new. I think NFTs will be around. Maybe not art. Maybe it'll be some other form. But NFTs, you got to be careful. Like, it's just everything right now is based on investor confidence and speculation. NFTs, speculation. If you're buying pieces of art, that are digital, sure, maybe it's a great storage of wealth today, but it's going to go down. Like, if you can't see that, like, you just don't understand the laws of wealth behind me. You just don't. Like, let me just read you one of these. This is so important right here. Always protect your wealth, security and collateral. That's law number 3. Where are you protecting your wealth by buying into crypto? You're not. There's no fundamental basis behind that. There's no protection. There's no security at all. It's completely smoke and mirrors. That's it. Okay. Number 4, this is the biggest problem all of you are facing right now. I got to stand for this shit. Greed is bad. FOMO is bad. Your wealth will flee you if you seek unrealistic returns. All of you are seeking unrealistic returns. And therefore, the law, your wealth will flee you. You don't believe me? Okay. This has happened since before Christ, folks. This isn't something new. That will happen to you if you don't pay attention to the simple laws, and you're not. You're flowing into the markets. You all need to be a better steward of your money. You need to start learning basic rules, basic laws of wealth so that you can be a good steward of your own money, but you're not. You're just following the leader. You're just sheeple, just running off of the cliff, and that's exactly what you're going to do. Love it, hate it. I don't care what you think. That's what most of you are doing. And I don't mean to single some of you out, like there's a bunch of you not doing that, but you know what? I gotta call it out so that I can actually get the lions out of the crew. Like, who are the lions? Who are the ones that are actually making a mark? Who are the ones that are actually taking this advice and saying, you know what? Something doesn't look right. I'm going to sit on the sidelines, or I'm just going to basically be safe with what I'm doing. Most of you are not. I see it. I see the comments. I know what you're doing. We talk to people every day, all day. But let's go to what Warren Buffett's doing. Many of you know who Warren Buffett is. He's not.
Let me just read the basics of this. So Warren Buffett shows his fear by dumping the most shares since 2008, signaling wariness with the soaring share market as a billionaire investor extends a selling streak. Mr. Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway was a net seller of equities for the fourth straight quarter, a trend not seen in data going back to 2008. The company ended up selling almost $2.7 billion more in stocks than it purchased during the period, adding to a cash pile that climbed to a record $149.2 billion. The selling streak indicates Mr. Buffett has struggled to find bargains with the share market hitting record highs. A big splashy acquisition was eluded, the conglomerate, etc. So, it's pretty wild to see that the markets are so risky in Mr. Buffett's eyes that he's willing to sit on almost $150 billion in cash just because he can't find anything to buy.
And because he's smart. See, Warren Buffett has learned patience. Warren Buffett has learned fundamental investing, which maybe doesn't work in today's market, but he also is patient and will wait, which is why Warren Buffett will continue to keep getting wealthier, while many of you, which are rich today, paper rich, which is the next poor. Read Robert Kiyosaki's book, The Second Chance. If you're paper rich, meaning if you've got a bunch of money on it in your wallet, for cryptos, you're rich. You're like, I'm so rich, I made millions of dollars. And I hope that's you. Now, your number one goal is convert that to cash. Convert that to something that you can actually exchange and take your gains off the table. Oh, no, it's going to keep going up. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. Are you willing to risk that? Is the risk worth the reward? For Warren Buffett, it absolutely positively is not. For me, it absolutely positively is not worth it. I am buying crypto. And I buy $200 of Bitcoin, $200 of Ethereum every week. When Bitcoin and Ethereum make their big drops down to around the 40,000 level, I'm all in. When they get up to around the $60,000 level now, because we've set this new bar, it used to be 50, now it's 60, I'm out. You guys can think I'm a fool for doing that, but I'm making money. But you know what I'm not just doing? I'm not just making money. I'm keeping the money. It's not what you make, folks. It's not what you make that matters. It's what you actually get to keep. Once you learn that the wealth game is not about how much money you make, when you learn that the wealth game is how much money you keep and how hard that money can work for you, you will win the long game. You are all playing the short game. You are playing the short game, and that short game will end for you. And that's the saddest part. Warren Buffett is the perfect example. If you can't follow that man's advice, forget about me. Who am I, right? I'm just some talking head on what the F happened or wealth webinar series or something else. Warren Buffett's tried and tested, which I am too, but he has been around for a long time. And if you can't buy into the fact that he is a successful investor because of time, patience, consistency, then you shouldn't be investing at all. You are not worthy of investing at all if you can't understand those simple philosophies. Buy low, sell high, don't lose money. When others are greedy, be fearful. When others are fearful, be greedy. Too much greed in the markets right now. Everywhere greed. Be fearful.
If you think about it, Chris, think about what Warren Buffett is saying by doing this. He knows what inflation is. He knows it's at 6 point something. Real world, it's double digits. He's basically saying, I'm willing to take that loss because I know that that's all my loss will be on my $150 billion of cash, instead of having that invest in the markets that are going to come down 45 to 55%, and he's going to lose that much. So to me, that's saying something right there.
Absolutely. We got a Facebook user come on, and I hear this a lot. They're saying your dollar value will be worthless. In other words, like, the money that we make today, I sold some light fixtures for $10. So you guys might be like, oh, what, you really that hard up for money? No, folks, I'm conditioned. I've built habits. I've been doing this since I was a kid. Like, when I have things I don't need, I list them on Facebook Marketplace or eBay and I sell them. It's $10, but you know what? I'd give this $10 to any one of you and that would put a smile on my face. This is me just doing what I've always done. But what I want to say about your dollars being worthless, not in this lifetime. You can all believe that the government's going to kill the US dollar, but the US dollar still, and maybe I'm a patriot, okay? Maybe I believe in the United States of America still, And I do think the United States of America still is the greatest country on earth.
And let me just give you, I mean, we were talking solutions earlier, right? So let me just throw one out there for you to consider, right? So if inflation's at 6.5%, but what happened with mortgage rates this week? Did anybody pay attention? Mortgage rates are actually dropping again. So more mortgage applications were put in last week than in previous times because mortgage rates came down a little bit. So why not go out there, take a loan at 3.1%. I mean, mortgage rates are at 3% right now. Inflation's at 6%. So borrow at 3, put it into a home, let's say, that's a rental property that has monthly income coming in, and take advantage of these historic rates. I guarantee you, if you do that right, you'll be able to borrow at 3% and create enough profit on that deal through monthly rent that will outpace inflation plus the rate that you're borrowing at. So let's start looking at ways that we can take advantage of these markets that we're in and take advantage of what the Fed is doing to grow our own wealth. The rest of this is noise. Chris and I are trying to wake people up to it, but there are solutions like that. There are solutions like specially designed and engineered whole life policies where you can store your cash to keep up with things like inflation. So there are solutions out there.
Anyway, let's finish this thing off with one fun thing. Paul Rudd. All of you know who Paul Rudd is. Paul Rudd, 2021, is the sexiest man alive. Do you all agree that Paul Rudd is one sexy beast? Because you know I like it.
I disagree. And here's what I want to challenge our WTF social media crowd. I want somebody to pull up this article and I want somebody to Photoshop Chris's picture and name on this article. And I want you to send it to me because I'm posting it on Chris's social media because I think Chris Naugle is the sexiest man alive in 2021 for saving people's financial lives. So someone please send me that Photoshop because I have no idea how to Photoshop.
That's awesome. So, all right, if you like that video, make sure you check out this video right now. And also don't forget, subscribe to my channel and don't ever forget to smash that alert button. We'll see you on the next one.